The time is just gone 10 minutes past 8 a.m. And kicking off with news and views this morning, we are taking a look at the relationship between Myanmar and Russia. Now, why this is so important and this is so relevant is we see these two countries. We see Vladimir Putin, and we also see the Myanmar, the coup leader, Min Aung Hlaing, talking about having a long awaited meeting, deepening ties between the countries. Now, we know both these countries have come under severe pressure from across the globe for different reasons. Obviously, one because of the coup in Myanmar, and Russia because of its involvement in the Ukraine. But one thing that is forgotten is still the plight of the Rohingya people. Uh, Clearly, the agenda as far as deepening ties go excludes the horror and the genocide that has been perpetrated against an innocent nation. And joining us this morning to unpack these developments is San Lwin, joining us to obviously look at what these meetings or what these ties between Russia and Myanmar actually mean, and obviously taking into account the key issues surrounding the Rohingya, an issue that needs to be resolved. Naisan, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for
Yes,
having me in this
yes,
meeting.
always wonderful you're able to join us. And just looking at this long awaited meeting between the Russian and the Myanmar leaders, what does this actually mean?
Well, since the coup last year, February 2021, this is the third trip of the May Online, the coup leader to Russia. In each trip, he has been trying to meet with the Russian President Putin, but he didn't get the chance. But this time, he was invited to this Eastern Economic Forum where he was spoke, and then at the sideline, he has got the chance to meet with the President Putin. So since he became the commander in chief, he has visited them, the Russia, I think quite a few times. Each time, as I mentioned earlier, he has been trying to meet with Putin. This time, his wish was fulfilled, and the Russia, as far as we observe his all history, Russia is treating him like a customer, the customer buying the arm and the weapon from the Russia, not more than that. Because whenever he landed at the Russian airport, only the small rank officer, pick up him from the airport, and also the logistic, everything, as we observe, that they are not treating as a head of the state. But this time, even in the Russian newspaper and the Kremlin, the news report, he was mentioned as the prime minister of interim government of Myanmar, and also the chairman of the state administrative council. So Putin met him, and he has been in this trip. He has been trying to deepen the tie between two countries, like proposing the direct flight from Myanmar to Russia, while the Russia has the very limited access to the other country, because the entire Europe and the US and the Canada are blocked. They cannot use the airspace. So, and also the oil and gas industry in Myanmar. Just a few months ago, two giant company from the France, Total Energies and the Chevron, pull up their business from Myanmar. So the oil and gas revenue is the biggest revenue for this military region. With this revenue, they buy the weapon and kill the people inside. So They are now the coup leader talk with the Russian official, Russian company for this oil and gas business, and also there are a lot of the bilateral thing he has been doing. And when he had the interview with the local Russian media, they were asked whether that the Myanmar will allow Russian base inside Myanmar, but he refused this. It is not accordance with the constitution. So these are the developing things happening. So uh, he both that this the military chief May Aung Hlaing, he has been refused by this ASEAN leader not to join the ASEAN summit, even the political position, not allowed to join in the ASEAN meeting. So he's completely isolated from the world. Only the Russia is giving him some space. So he has got the photo opportunity, and also to create some business for the military, because in Myanmar all the business are manipulating and the exploiting by the military. So they have only one country left, this is Russia. And the China, as far as we observe, that the China support is not much like before.
Yes, I think what is also important to understand is the economic interests of both Russia and Myanmar feature very, very prominently in these latest round of talks, forgetting the human rights abuses. And we know Russia obviously is looking for, has been isolated as a result of Ukraine. They are looking at support, they are looking at friends as well. And the same would go for Myanmar.
Well, sure, when the Myanmar has been ruling by the military since 1962, only from the 2015 to 2020, the country was ruled by the civilian government led by the Aung San Suu Kyi, who is now in jail and sentenced to 20 years in prison. The pending case will sentence her like more than 100 years. So, from 1988 to 2010, when the country was isolated by the Western nation by imposing severe sanction. So at the time, they collaborate with the China. The China, they invested a lot in Myanmar. But this time, since the military is losing some support from the China, they are now collaborating with the Russia. So it seemed like Russia will invest something in Myanmar to keep the good relation between two countries. And the Myanmar, since the foreign investment are departing day by day, like the telecom company from the Norway, I mean the Telenor, and also Oridu from the Qatar, they are departing. So they need some investor, local investor, they can invest, but still they want the foreign investment. So they have only some option, like they bring the Russian investor to Myanmar, and also the Myanmar is getting arms supply from some country like Belarus and the Serbia as well. So they have some small countries supporting. So for all those countries, they will approach for the investment. And the currency, now the inside the country, the people are facing the currency crisis and also the fuel crisis. So the latest development is that the military is bringing the fuel from the Russia in the cheap price. So, and also there are many other things they are planning with Russia. So they have now the Russia is only the survival for them. The currency is like before the coup, $1 equal to about 1,500 jet. Now about 8-1 to the 4,500. So that been the triple now, but a little bit came down. And there's the poverty is increasing day by day. So in my opinion, what I'm expecting, although they are, the deepening the tie with the Russia to secure the investment, the situation in the country is really bad. I think anytime we can see another round of the this uprising inside the country, but this time will be the biggest ever. It can be look like the one happened in the Sri Lanka.
Yes, and also, is there any sort of relationship between Myanmar and the likes of the United States of America and also Western Europe? And if there is some sort of relationship, how is this likely to impact on Myanmar now that they have become, I would say, fairly reliant on Russia and deepening this relationship between Russia and Myanmar?
Well, this Myanmar military has never been a favor to the Western nation because they don't really want to have a true democracy in the country. They want to have their own style democracy, like having 25% at the military seat at the parliament, and controlling the important ministry. This is the way they want, but since the Western nation are pressuring for the purely civilian rule in the country, they don't really like. So since the coup, before the coup as well, for the Rohingya genocide, there were some sanctions, but after the coup, the US, Canada, UK, and the European Union imposed a lot of sanctions. So they don't really like, and those countries like recently on the day of fifth anniversary of Rohingya Genocide Remembrance Day, the US make the announcement that they will support uh, uh, if the UN Security Council refer Myanmar situation to the International Criminal Court. This is the big change from the US, and also just a few months ago, US determined the crime against the Rohingya as a genocide. And from the UK and the Germany also on the 25th of August, fifth anniversary of the Rohingya Genocide Day, they make the official announcement that they have intention to join the this Gambia versus Myanmar case, the genocide proceeding at the International Court of Justice. So this all the country are against the military, so they don't really want this Western nation at all. So siding by the Russia is expected because Myanmar has been always siding with the always depending the Russia and the China, Russia for the arm and the weapon, uh, and Russia for I mean sorry, China for the business. But this time, so since China is slowly responding the Myanmar military and not showing the full support like before, now they are completely siding with Russia. So Russia is selling them the oil with the cheap price. This is good for them, and also they need the really armed weapon because inside the country the people defense force formed by the national unity government and also the local defense forces are growing day by day. Now, according to the report, the People Defense Force has got the 300 battalion. So this is not the small amount. And also the territory they are controlling like 50% in the country. So they really need to eliminate all these resistant forces. So they need a strong partner like Russia. That is why this military chief just recently in July he visited the Russia, and in 2 months he is visiting again. So we can see how desperate he is to have to build a very good the excellent relationship with the Russia. And also he was praising yesterday in the meeting that because of this Russia president Putin, the wall is stabilized. This is nonsense. He was just praising to get the favor from the Putin.
Well, Nathan, I must say Jazakallah to you once again for coming on, talking to us, for unpacking what you have. And yes, looking forward to having further discussions with you. But for now, please take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much.
San Lwin joining us out of Germany this morning. And we're going to go for a break. We come back, a lot more to unpack on News and Views this morning.